Did you know that the secret to literally regrowing the shock absorbers in your knees might not be found in a pharmacy prescription or an expensive orthopedic surgeon's office, but right there in the baking aisle of your local grocery store, inside a humble box that costs less than $2? It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? For years, we have been told that once the cartilage in our knees is gone, it is gone forever. We hear that terrifying phrase, bone on bone, and we assume the only road left is a painful, expensive joint replacement surgery. But new research into the biology of collagen synthesis is challenging that defeatist view. There is a specific biological reason why your joints stop repairing themselves as you age, and there's a surprisingly simple, science-backed way to switch that repair machinery back on. It doesn't involve dangerous painkillers or invasive needles. It involves understanding the chemistry of your own body and giving it the raw materials it is crying out for. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how to use this kitchen staple to reclaim your mobility and get back to the life you love. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I'm here to help you navigate the confusing world of health with science, compassion, and a bit of common sense. I am so glad you have joined me today. Before we dive into the solution, I want to feel the presence of our incredible community. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? I absolutely love seeing where our community of strong, resilient women comes together from all over the world. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We are building a movement of women who refuse to let age dictate their limits, and I would be honored to have you with us. Now, let's talk about that nagging, aching pain in your knees. I know what it feels like because I hear it from my patients every single day. It starts as a little stiffness in the morning, perhaps a sharp twinge when you stand up after sitting for too long, but over time, it becomes this constant, dull roar in the background of your life. You start looking at a flight of stairs not as a path to the second floor, but as a mountain to be conquered. You might even decline invitations to go for a walk with friends or play in the park with your grandchildren because you are afraid of the price you will pay in pain later that evening. It feels like your body is betraying you, doesn't it? The medical community often throws around the term osteoarthritis or degenerative joint disease. But let's strip away the scary Latin and look at what is really happening. Imagine your knee joint is like the suspension system on a car, or perhaps even better, like a plush, comfortable pillow that sits between your thigh bone and your shin bone. When we are young, that pillow, your cartilage, is thick, juicy, and resilient. It can take a beating. You can jump, run, and dance, and that cartilage bounces right back, protecting the hard bones from rubbing against each other. But as we enter our 60s and beyond, something fundamental changes. For us women specifically, the drop in estrogen after menopause plays a massive role in this. Estrogen is a key protector of collagen, which is the main material that makes up that cartilage pillow. When estrogen levels dip, the maintenance crew in your joints starts to slow down. The pillow starts to flatten out, it gets dry, it gets brittle. Eventually, it wears so thin that the bones start to get uncomfortably close. That is the pain you are feeling. It's the loss of your cushion. Here's the frustrating part. You might have tried taking collagen pills. You might have bought those big tubs of expensive powder that promised to fix your skin and joints. And maybe you didn't see much of a difference. You might be thinking, Dr. Emily, if collagen is what I need, why didn't the supplement work? That is a fantastic question. The problem isn't usually the intention, it's the delivery system. Most standard supplements are processed in a way that your body just digests like food without ever signaling the repair crew in your knees to get to work. It's like dumping a pile of bricks in your driveway and expecting a house to build itself. But there is a way to force those bricks into the right place, and it involves a specific combination of ingredients that creates a biological reaction your body cannot ignore. And the first part of that combination is the hidden gem we found in the baking aisle, which we are going to unpack right now. So let's talk about the bricks. If we want to rebuild that worn-out cushion in your knee, we need raw materials. This brings us to gelatin. You probably know gelatin as the stuff that makes Jell-O wiggle or thickens your grandmother's famous gravy. But biologically, gelatin is simply cooked collagen. When you take animal bones, skin, and connective tissue and simmer them for a long time, the collagen structure breaks down into gelatin. Why is this better than the fancy hydrolyzed collagen peptides in the expensive blue tub? Well, for many people, it's not just about the cost, though saving $50 a month is wonderful. It is about the profile of amino acids. Gelatin is incredibly rich in two specific amino acids, glycine and proline. Think of these as the gold dust for your joints. Modern diets are almost completely devoid of these two nutrients. We eat muscle meat, chicken breast, steak, pork chops. We don't gnaw on bones or eat gristle anymore. This means our bodies are essentially starving for the specific building blocks needed to repair joint tissue. When you consume gelatin, you are flooding your bloodstream with glycine and proline. These amino acids act like the heavy-duty bricks required to patch the holes in your cartilage. Glycine in particular is a fascinating one. It's an anti-inflammatory powerhouse. It not only helps build the tissue, but also helps calm down the angry, inflamed environment inside an arthritic knee. It settles the fire so the construction crew can actually work. But here is the catch. And this is where most people get it wrong. You can eat all the gelatin in the world, you can eat Jell-O until you turn green, and your knees might not get any better. Why? Because having the bricks is useless if you don't have the mortar to stick them together. There is a missing link, a biological spark plug that is required to turn that gelatin into actual living cartilage, and without it, you are just eating dessert. This brings us to the most critical part of the puzzle, the catalyst. This is the mortar to our gelatin bricks. I want to share a fact with you that completely surprises most of the people I talk to, and I'd love to see a reaction in the comments when you hear this. Did you know that human beings are one of the only mammals on the entire planet that cannot produce their own vitamin C? It's true. Your dog, your cat, the squirrel in your backyard, they all manufacture their own vitamin C in their livers, especially when they're stressed or injured. We humans lost that ability millions of years ago due to a genetic mutation. Why does this matter for your knees? Because vitamin C is not just for fighting off a cold. In the world of joint repair, vitamin C is the construction foreman. It is the boss. In scientific terms, vitamin C is an essential cofactor for two enzymes, lysyl hydroxylase and prolyl hydroxylase. I know that sounds very technical, but stick with me because this is the key to your pain relief. These enzymes are responsible for twisting those glycine and proline strands from the gelatin into a tight, strong triple helix structure. That triple helix is what makes collagen strong. Without vitamin C, your body takes the gelatin you eat and just uses it for energy or makes weak, flimsy connective tissue that falls apart immediately. It's like trying to build a brick wall with no cement. You just have a pile of loose rubble. But when you combine gelatin directly with a source of vitamin C, you are flipping a switch. You are telling your body, here are the materials, and here is the command to build. This combination increases natural collagen synthesis in the body significantly. We have seen studies where the blood markers for collagen synthesis double when these two are taken together versus just taking gelatin alone. So, the magic isn't just the 2 boxes of gelatin. It's the gelatin plus a squeeze of lemon, a few strawberries, or a bell pepper. It is the synergy. But even now, we have a problem. We have the bricks and we have the mortar. We have built the material, but how do we get it into the knee? Your knee joint is inside a capsule. It's hard to reach. If we just let these nutrients float around in the blood, they might go to your skin, your hair, or your gut, which is great, but we want them in your knees. There is a physiological trick to targeting the delivery, and it has to do with the unique way your joints eat. Let's imagine your knee cartilage again. Unlike your muscles or your skin, Cartilage is what we call avascular. That means it has no direct blood supply. There are no little arteries pumping red blood cells directly into the center of that knee cushion. This is why cartilage heals so slowly compared to a cut on your finger. If there is no blood road, how does the food truck get there? Cartilage receives its nutrients through a mechanism that works exactly like a dirty kitchen sponge. Imagine you have a dry sponge and you put it in a bowl of soapy water. It doesn't really soak up much water just sitting there, but if you squeeze the sponge and then let go, it sucks the water deep into its pores. Your knee works the same way. The fluid inside your joint, called synovial fluid, is full of nutrients. But to get those nutrients into the stiff cartilage, you have to physically squeeze the joint. You have to move. When you take a step, you compress the cartilage, squeezing out the old, waste-filled fluid. When you lift your foot, the pressure releases, and the cartilage expands, sucking in fresh, nutrient-rich fluid. This is the sponge effect. This is why sitting still is actually the worst thing you can do for arthritic knees. The less you move, the more the cartilage starves. So here is the breakthrough strategy. We need to time our nutrition. We need to flood your blood with gelatin and vitamin C, wait for it to reach that peak concentration, and then gently move the joint to pump those specific healing compounds into the tissue. It is a pump and fill strategy. If you eat the gelatin and then sit on the couch for 4 hours, you miss the window. You need to mechanically drive the nutrients into the repair site. But don't worry, I am not talking about running a marathon. In fact, heavy exercise might be too much. We need a golden hour ritual, a specific timeline that maximizes this biology without causing you more pain. So how do we put this all together into a daily routine that fits into your life? I call this the joint renewal ritual, and it is best done about 1 hour before you plan to be active. Why 1 hour? Because research suggests that amino acid levels in the blood peak about 60 minutes after ingestion. That is your window of opportunity. Here is a simple, delicious way to do it. You don't need to choke down unflavored gelatin powder dry. Please don't do that. You can make what I call recovery gummies. Take your $2 box of unflavored gelatin, mix it with a cup of high-quality orange juice or berry juice, something rich in vitamin C. Heat the juice gently. Don't boil it because boiling heat destroys vitamin C. Just warm it enough to dissolve the gelatin. Pour it into a little pan or silicone molds and let it set in the fridge. It's a tasty little treat. Eat a few of these squares. Or, if you prefer something savory, especially in the winter, dissolve the gelatin into a cup of warm bone broth. But remember, the broth needs a partner. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into it right before you drink it. That lemon provides the vitamin C spark. Once you consume your bricks and mortar, wait about 45 minutes to an hour, then do 10 to 15 minutes of gentle, unloaded movement. This could be simply sitting in a high chair and swinging your legs back and forth. It could be riding a stationary bike with a very low resistance. It could be a gentle walk around the block. You aren't trying to burn calories. You are acting as the pump. You are squishing the sponge. You are forcing that glycine, proline, and vitamin C mixture into the cartilage matrix. If you do this consistently, not once, but 3 or 4 times a week, something remarkable starts to happen. It's not an overnight miracle. Biology takes time. But typically, within 6 to 8 weeks, my patients start to tell me things like, Dr. Emily, I woke up today and didn't have to hold on to the dresser to walk to the bathroom. Or I walked through the grocery store and didn't think about my knees once. That is the goal. It isn't about running marathons at 70, though, if that is your dream, go for it. It is about reclaiming the freedom of the ordinary. It is about erasing the constant mental calculation of how much will this hurt. It is about realizing that your body is not a machine that is destined to break down and rust. It is a living, adapting ecosystem. Even at 60, 70, or 80, your cells are listening to you. They are waiting for the right materials and the right signals. You have the power to change the trajectory of your aging. You don't have to accept bone on bone as a life sentence. By going to the grocery store, spending a couple of dollars, and applying a little bit of biological wisdom, you are taking control. You are telling your body that you are not done yet. I want you to try this. Commit to the joint renewal ritual for just 1 month. Then, come back to this video and let us know how you feel. I suspect you will be amazed at what your body can still do. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps get this information to other women who are struggling with pain in silence. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more science-backed practical guides to living your strongest, happiest life. You are capable of so much more than you think. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of those knees and take care of yourself.